Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Friday, January 30th, 2026. What a gift to be present with all of you, Arlene and Tracy Ann. Penny, good to see you. It's broadcast 1481. Jonathan and Susie, Bruce and John, good morning. Hi, Doug. Good to see you. Let's see who's here on Facebook so we can say good morning to you all as well. Neil, my friend, miss you. Nice to see you. Lydia and Linda, Boker Tov, good to see you. Thank you for the reminder, Linda. Today is the first Shabbos with no hostages. What a remarkable realization. Thank you for that. Judy, good to see you. I'm not sure, Anamo de Beaconsfield, who I'm saying Boker Tov to, but good to see you. Shabbat Shalom. Amy and George, Valerie, Cynthia, nice to see you. It's been a long time. Stan, it's also been a long time. Valerie, good to see you too. Jack and Cynthia, Rosa, good to see you. Patricia and Karen, okay. Let's see. There's a few more good mornings we can offer, and then we'll sing a bracha for learning. Julianne and Robin, good to see you. Arlene, hi. Carolyn, good to see you too. Let's take a breath. We'll sing a bracha. We'll learn some Torah. Hi, Mark. Everybody, really good to see you, and thank you to those who pointed it out. I think Valerie did as well, that this is the first Shabbat. Linda pointed it out first, and then Valerie, the first Shabbat that we have had in 2.5 years with no hostages in Gaza. The story, please God, starts its next chapter in earnest this week, today, this moment. Grateful beyond words to the soldiers of the IDF of Tzahal for working so hard to locate every last human being who deserved dignity and now a proper burial, with Ron Gvili being brought home. We are able, as the Hostages and Missing Families Forum put it on their new banner on social media, Achshav anachnu kamim, now we rise. Thank God. Thank God. So powerful, friends, for us to let that reality in as we look to some Torah and as we get ready for Shabbat. So this is, Ayala, thank you for pointing that out. There's a final Shabbat table, a Kabbalat Shabbat, happening in Tel Aviv, in the space that will now not be known anymore as Kikar HaChatufim, as Hostage Square. There will be some art that it becomes permanent in that space, but the identity of the space the identity of Tel Aviv, and the air in Israel, as Robin, you're saying today, feels different. May we breathe even more deeply. May our freedom be less expensive. And may Shabbat be sweet, a different kind of Shabbat for us all. Um, Parshat Beshalach that we have been reading, remember this week is also called Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of song, because when we cross through the Red Sea, we sing a very famous section. If Bible scholars are correct, and I think they are, then the first song, the first version of the song, was sung by Miriam. Vatikach Miriam Hanaviyah. She took the timbrels and sang with the women, and said, Az Nashir. Now we sing. The one that we typically hear is the one that Moshe leads, that starts Az Yashir. We will sing. And the difference is important for us to understand. The power of singing now, which is what Miriam does, as opposed to what Moses leads, which is we will sing. That's important for us to consider. The immediacy, the possibility of singing now. That's a gift to think about. But there are dimensions to this story that are important for us to consider as well. The rabbis, the ancient rabbis, 2,000 years ago, hear this song that our ancestors sing, and it's complicated. It is complicated because the song that is sung after seeing the Egyptians die when the Red Sea collapses upon itself. And the text in the Torah says, and we recite this every morning in our tefillot, in our prayers, Vayar Yisrael et hayad hagdola asher aseh Adonai b'Mitzrayim. We saw God's great hand and what God did in Egypt. Vayiru ha'am et Adonai. And the people saw God and were in awe of God. Vayaminu b'Adonai of Moshe avdo. And the people believed in God and in Moses, God's servant. Well, that is powerful. There's no way to overstate the magnitude of that moment. But the death of the Egyptians was an indication of God's presence, and the rabbis notice this. And they create a story that has two versions. Either when we, our ancestors, sang, Az Yashir, when we sang, God rebuked us and said, how dare you sing when my children are dying? It's the birth of the national commitment to empathy that has been part and parcel of Jewish identity through time, even in the immediate aftermath of oppression, and especially when we wield power, empathy. Now, the rabbis have a different inclination, which is they're uncomfortable with criticizing our people, especially during and right after trauma. And so there's another version of this story that says the angels sang. And God said to the angels, how dare you sing when my children are dying? And it is important for us to let this in, because the Torah demands of us many things, including empathy for other human beings. Empathy. There is a way that this parsha really makes clear what the absence of empathy looks like, because our Torah portion ends not with the splitting of the sea and not with our singing, but it ends with what Amalek did. Before I continue that thought, Kim Hartman, so good to see you here. You're in Jerusalem. Look up at the sky for us, my friend. Breathe it in. We've been saying, and I'm sure you all there have been saying, this is the first Shabbat without hostages. Please, 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 just look up at the sky and feel the gratitude we all do in the most immediate of ways. Sending you a big hug. Back to the Parsha. Amalek, the arch nemesis of our people. This is that origin story of the hatred. Not the origin story of Amalek, which is a very complicated one. We'll deal with when Purim comes closer. But Amalek attacks us in the rear of the camp, those who move slowest. That's what an Amalek does. No empathy. The explicit absence of empathy. Not where someone is most vulnerable. Not even there. And we are told, Zachor et asher asalecha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. Now, of course, when it says Timche et zecher Amalek, erase the memory of Amalek, that is a command to fight whenever Amalek rears its ugly head. When there is a terrorism or when there is an evil, the response, the holy response, is the rejection of that evil, is stopping it. But there are other opinions in Jewish tradition that says Timche et Zecher Amalek is not about erasing the people, it's erasing that impulse. Amalek has been re-understood many times in Jewish tradition to include the commitment to eradicating the lack of empathy, which said in a positive way is cultivate empathy, show concern and care, especially where society is most vulnerable, because the best way to erase Amalek is never to be it. So as we go into this Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of song, as we go in, as we sing, as we rest, as we rejoice, as we allow hope to bloom in our hearts again, as the Hostages and Missing Families Forum put it, as we rise, let's do our best to tap into that empathy at the core of this week's Parsha, at the core of the way it's been understood through time, and at the core of who we are called to be as a people. Let us model empathy. Let's double down on care. That's the way we erase Amalek. That's the way we become Israel. May we be so blessed. Let's send our hearts to the east for this very special Shabbat. Let's sing. Kol hod maleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefate mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia Od lo avda tikvateinu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liot am chofshi be'artzeinu Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim Liot am chofshi be'artzeinu Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom, my friends.